Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is a sound off for the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Okay, so the episode starts with Delores and her kids at the townhome, and she's talking again about how Big Frank hasn't finished the renovations, and everybody is annoyed with Big Frank. So we haven't seen Dolores' daughter, Gabby, in a while, because I think she went to medical school in the Caribbean. I don't remember, but it was something like that. And so I don't really remember her too much. But she seemed to be really rude. I don't know if, she was always rude and we just didn't see that on the show. But she's real rude the way she's talking about her dad. That scene left me with a lot of questions. Dolores lets us know that the children have never lived under the same roof as their father, which is weird to me because she did say she left Big Frank while she was still pregnant with Frankie. So yeah, that would make sense why the kids have never lived with him. But then it's just like, why are they... Dolores and Frank, their relationship, it's an anomaly. I don't understand. I just don't know. I don't get it. I think it's weird. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's different. It's different. She literally takes care of Big Frank like he's one of her kids, and he calls her mommy. He calls her mommy. She takes care of him as if he's one of the children. Niece Gia has started a sweatshirt line. It's based off of her waking up in the morning thinking about so many things. It's that song she's incorporated into her sweatshirt line, and I guess the people are, there's a market for it. And her, Melania, and Teresa kind of walk off to the side and have a little conversation. And Teresa was like, Louis, I think, sent a text to the group chat inviting everyone over for pizza night at his house with Joe and Melissa, and Melania's not here for it. She was like, yeah, I'm not going to that. And I didn't talk about it in my last video, but we all know that Gia and Joe, they hashed out their differences. It got a little hairy, but they were able to put their bullshit to the side, I guess. I don't know. But I guess she feels okay. Some type of resolution within her, so she's fine with having a pizza night with her uncle and aunt. But Melania don't feel that way. And I like Gia, but Gia got on my nerves in this episode because you got off your chest what you needed to say, what you felt, how you were feeling. You got to express yourself. You know what I mean? You got to release. Melania didn't get that opportunity. So she's saying, yeah, you're going, Melania. There's no reason not to go. And I didn't really like that. Your feelings matter, but Melania's don't. I didn't like that. I didn't think that was okay. I understand that she's the eldest and she feels as if she's a representative for her sisters and she spoke on their behalf. But you can't tell that little girl how to feel. We all know Melania does not play behind her daddy. She loves that man. She loves her dad. So if it's going to take her a little bit of more time to get over what has happened, give her the time. I didn't like how they were doing Melania in this scene. It didn't make me feel too good. I didn't like it. So y'all know Jersey is infamous for having the husbands are like probably the most involved throughout all of the franchises. The Jersey husbands have like a close bond. Even back in the day when the earlier seasons, Joe Giudice would always have like some type of game night with Chris, Larita, and them. I guess they've kept up the tradition because that's what they do now, right? So the guys link up, Joe Gorga, and Big Frank. They all link up in the middle of the day on a work week, and they're sitting around the table. They discuss everything from Dolores's possible breakup with David to Troutmouth putting Jennifer and her husband on blast. And you know that Joe B. Pigtails has him trained well, okay? Because he was like, well, Jennifer went too far. She was slut-shaming Margaret and da-da-da-da-da. And it's just like, I really don't care about this scene. They look like some gossiping biddies. They stay in women's business. And it's not cute. And I didn't like it. Joe Gorga, he trying to talk shit about Louis again and his nieces. And I did appreciate Big Frank putting him in his place and say, look, this is family. Whatever you got to do to get it right, get it right. Do what you got to do. When he tried to talk noise about Louis, Big Frank shut him down yet again. He was like, the man has been really nice to my kid, so I ain't got no problems with him. And Joe Gorga, you sat there looking dumb because you thought you had somebody that was going to help you go back and forth on Louis, and Frank said access denied. He didn't let you do that. So if you've seen any of my old tweets from my personal page of me saying that I would like to see a Jersey House Husband special, scratch that, strike that from the record. It is now null and void. I no longer feel that way. I changed my mind. I'm on my Keisha Cole shit because the Jersey Husbands have been annoying the fuck out of me. They sitting around here like some gossiping biddies, and I'm over it. I'm over it. Especially the tiny one. So Jackie and Evan go out to dinner and she's all excited. She's like, we don't got the kids. She misses the kids because they're away at camp, but she's also excited to kind of just be alone with just her and her man. Evan starts to order food and he asks Jackie, hey, would you split, whatever with me? Trying to coax her to eat a little bit. She decides to speak on this whole her eating issues, which I think were really brave of Jackie. She decided to take the reins of her story and tell her story. And I commend her because that has to be really hard. The people were noticing last year that she looked thin and that she wasn't eating. I don't think I realized how, it still has a hold on her. Like, this is a everyday struggle for her. Evan looked like, the way he handled her, it was really nice to see that he was very supportive. He was real gentle with her. He was talking to her real carefully. He let her know that, the kids notice, that you're struggling. They've said something. And I think that really hit home for Jackie. And she was just like, oh, I've got to do something, because it's one thing for me to be in a situation. It's another thing for my children to go through it. And I'm not going to put my kids through that. I will say this, though. Last season, when the whole Evan cheating rumor thing happened, I don't know that I believed it or didn't believe it. I don't think I really believed it, right? I hate to say it, though, but I feel like I kind of believe it now. I don't know. So I don't know if Evan really did what they say he did or if he did something different. I don't know what the hell happened. I wasn't there. But the way he was talking to Jackie, it made me a little sad. It made me a little sad, but it made me feel like it's very possible that he did step out on Jackie. Might have meant nothing. Might have been in the past. It might have happened. I think one of the reasons why Jackie was so besides herself last year is because once you say something like that, it opens a door. And she was afraid of what was going to come through the door. She was afraid that, to find out, like, did he do something? She was afraid maybe a side chick was going to pop up. She was afraid of what could happen. I think that's why she was so frazzled. Not that she knew anything, but she was afraid that maybe she was going to find out something that she didn't want to know. I think that's where the stress was, because I could not understand. Like, girl, that's not true. Your man ain't cheat on you. You could say that. You could stand on all 10 toes and say, my man ain't that kind of man. Why were you so distraught? But I think it's because she knows that he's not a perfect person. He might have done some things. And I hate to make it seem like it would be her fault, because it would never be her fault if he cheated on her. But I can kind of see, like, if you have a wife that's not fully present, she's not well, she has a lot of hangups, she has a lot of different things that she's working through, I could see how he might step to the side and do something a little whatever and then come back home and act like he did nothing. I could see it. So remember back when John Edwards cheated on his wife, his late wife. And I remember thinking he was just terrible. Like, how can you cheat on this lady? She's dying. It's messed up. And I remember my cousin, she was like, well, girl, I can kind of see how he would do that. And I was like, what you mean? And she was explaining, she was like, yo, his wife is sick. She's dying. She's not herself. Their intimate relationship is probably completely dead. That lady feels sick all the time. she said she could understand how he would need an outlet, he would need a release, he would need an escape and mess, and go over to the side and do his little whatever and then come back and be the dutiful husband that he's supposed to be. When I was watching that scene between Evan and Jackie, it was the same feeling. Like, he's the dutiful husband, he does what he's supposed to do, he's supportive, he's strong, he's her rock, he's, super dad, he does whatever he has to do. But probably, in his spare time, he might go over there, release some tension, even if it's not even physical, even if it's just to talk to somebody, and someone he doesn't have to take care of, someone he could just have a good time and go on by his day, or someone he could vent to and go on by his day and come back home and be a good husband. I totally can see it. I hope that's not the case, but that scene between Evan and Jackie, even though he seemed like the best husband in that moment, I totally, it sparked something that I can't unsee. I mean, I hope it's not true, because I don't know that I don't know if she'd be strong enough to deal with that. So I kind of, for her sake, I hope it's not true, but. So it's pizza night at Louie's house, and I'm starting to warm up to Louie just a little bit. I am, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. I like a person who joins a family and wants to be a peacemaker. I can respect that. I don't always think it works, but I can respect that. And the fact that he's trying to broker peace makes me like him just a little bit. I still don't trust him. I still think Teresa needs to get his prenup. I still think Teresa's moving a little too fast, but I can respect the guy that comes in and tries to be peacemaker. I really can. Because too many people get in a relationship and that pillow talk had a brain all confused, and then they want to put on their combat boots and take on, and want to fight and don't even know what's really going on. They only heard a small part of what's going on and they want to make it their fight. Melissa, Rich Wakili, y'all know who y'all are. Jacqueline Larita. Everybody's arriving to the party. Louis' brother is there. The kids get there. Joe and Melissa and his kids get there. And everybody's greeting each other. And you know what? Those children really love each other. They really, really do. Joe Gorga, you are the person in the family that holds a lot of the power. Please stop doing all this rubbish before it starts to affect the kids, because when those kids see each other, it's pure love. But if y'all keep on this nonsense, this tit for tat bullshit, y'all gonna fuck that up. So on to the foolishness. Melissa was telling Teresa that she's really happy that Jackie and Teresa are getting along as of late. Is she really? We don't know. We'll see though, right? And Teresa uses that to say, yeah, and your girl Margaret, she tripping. And she really lets her know, like, I really didn't like what she did. What she did to Jennifer was wrong. Y'all gave me shit last season for what I did to Jackie. Margaret does the same thing, and none of you guys are on Jennifer's side. She pretty much lets them know, y'all big wrong. Y'all wrong as hell for how y'all treating Jennifer. And Melissa says in her confessionals that she doesn't understand what's this loyalty between Teresa and Jennifer. And it's just like, girl, can she just, like, girl, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. What's your loyalty to Margaret? Sick of your ass. Anywho, she also says something about, oh, Jennifer attacks her brother. Okay, Jackie came for your sister-in-law. Jackie came for your niece. I'm starting to get really irritated. No, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never really seen it for Melissa. And every season she proves me right. So Louis asks everyone to do some affirmations and to everyone explain their intentions and what they want, and all that. I appreciate him coming and trying to bring some healing, some some love, a different energy. Okay, he's very different from Joe Giudice. He's bringing something very different. And of course, Tiny Joe, he don't like that. He was like, I'm Italian and we don't do that. And it's just like, bro, maybe you should try. But anyways, you know, Tiny Joe only speaks caveman. He only speaks nonsense. This decency is very foreign to him. This ain't what he's used to. He's used to, you know, getting beat up by Joe Judice. That's what he knows. He don't know decency. He don't know kindness. He doesn't know calm and, you know, and something different. But he really should try it, you know? Teresa is trying to say how, you know, she wants loyalty and whatever. And Melissa's trying to heckle her. And her daughters are kind of like, you know... Side note on Melissa. Melissa, you need to be very careful. Let's talk about this family drama, right? Melissa, you really need to be careful. She said something years back when she said she didn't want Teresa's kids around her children because Teresa has 4 girls and she only has 1 girl. And she doesn't want the 4 cousins to team up against her daughter. I did not like that, right? But you're saying that. But you know what you should really be thinking about? You have 2 sons. Your daughter will have 2 sister-in-laws and no sister. Very similar to Teresa. How are you going to feel if Joey and Gino's wives mistreat Antonia? They team up against Antonia. You might want to think about that. You might want to stop fucking with Teresa. Because you already see the family history, how things have been going. How many generations does it need to happen to? I'm just saying. She gonna need... I know Melissa got nieces, but Antonia is gonna need her 4 cousins to have her back. If her sister-in-laws are anything like you. Y'all might want to cut this nonsense off before it trickles down to the children is all I'm saying. Anyways, they all doing their affirmations. And Joe, he says something about like, oh, well, you know, I'm Italian and we speak a certain way. And if I say something to you, we're family. You're supposed to forget about it in a couple of minutes. And that hasn't been working, Joe. It hasn't been working. You're a man. You have a... I mean, I don't even want to say that you're a man. That might be your way. That's not everyone's way. These girls are speaking up to you. They're telling you their feelings. Acknowledge them. Because I'm pretty sure your daughter feels similar. Joe was like, he finally gets it, you know. He's going to just stop. He finally gets it because he's starting to look like the bad guy. Him fighting with his nieces is not a good look for him. And I'm sure Melissa tells him this every time. So yeah, he wants to look like the better guy. But I promise you, if he bring up Joe Judice anymore this season, I'm going to be really mad. I'm going to be annoyed because there's no reason to. This man and your sister are divorced. This man has been deported. Ain't no more reason for you to talk about him. Shut up. Shut up. We tired. I cannot with Joe Gorga and Melissa and this never-ending feud. I can't do it. We need something different. We tired. Okay, so Evan and Jackie decide to throw a keg party, or I don't remember. It was a keg party, college party, whatever, to kind of remind them of the good old days back when, you know, they was having fun, nobody had kids, whatever, whatever. Margaret, you a Looney Tune. Okay, Pigtails girl, she made the comment like, if Jennifer has any sense, when she gets to this party, she's going to offer me an apology so we can move on. She really fixed her mouth to say that bullshit. Jackie says, girl, that ain't gonna happen. And she's right. It's not gonna happen because, seriously? Anyways, we're not even finna spend no time talking about that nonsense because you stupid as hell. Girl, bye. Can I just say I predict a Margaret and Jackie fallout next season? That's what I'm predicting because Margaret, you be saying some stuff that I know it be hitting Jackie in her heart, but she got to stay in character. She can't break the 4th wall. She can't break the alliance just yet. So she be letting a lot of stuff slide. She be passively, aggressively letting it slide. Margaret, I predict that coming up. If not this season, next season. Because Margaret, you be trying it. But anyway, she makes a comment like, oh, Jennifer should stop crying. What's the time limit on a 44-year-old crying over something? Margaret, shut the hell up. So Jennifer was on her Cardi B If I see you and I don't speak, that means I don't fuck with you. She gets to the party and she stays on her side of the room away from over there. And Margaret does what she does always, is she's talking shit about you. She's taunting you. She's saying all this stuff from across the room with her mean girl. She got her reinforcement. Lexi. Lexi, you don't even go here. Why are you at the party? But anyway, she got Lexi there with her, and she's just talking shit about Jennifer, and Jennifer is unbothered. Eventually, Delores goes over to speak to Jennifer. So Jennifer tells Delores, hey, Jackie was telling me that, you're not really being a good friend to me. You're not being a supportive friend. And of course, Delores gets defensive, and she's like, what you talking about? And it starts going back and forth. Jackie walks up and Jackie's like, yeah, I don't think you're being a good friend to her. And you're more of a friend to Margaret than you are to Jennifer. Delores is like, girl, what? I'm friends with both of them. Jackie's like, yeah, you're more friends with Margaret. That's all Margaret needed to do was hear her name. And she runs over there and she was like, what's going on? What's happening here? What's happening? And so they reiterate, and then Margaret was like, yeah, but you're better friends with me. You're closer to me than you are to her. So side note, Jackie, I'm really starting to like you, but I didn't understand what it mattered if Delores was closer to Margaret or if she was closest to Jennifer. Like, what did that matter? If she's a closer friend to Margaret, then she's a closer friend to Margaret. I didn't understand. First of all, that sounds dumb as hell, but I didn't understand what was the point of what was the point. If she's closer to Margaret, then okay, whoop-de-woo, she's closer to Margaret. And then she's saying to you, no, I'm not. And to be very honest, I don't think that is true. I think Delores and Jennifer definitely have a big sister, little sister relationship. But I also think that Delores be getting annoyed with Jennifer. And I feel like she let Margaret spank Jennifer. What they said, a hard head to make a soft ass. You've been getting on people's nerves. You've been doing stuff you ain't supposed to be doing, Jennifer. And so I'm gonna let you find out the hard way that you do too much because you don't listen to me. And so I feel like that's what's really going on. I think Delores loves Jennifer. They really do have a friendship. But sometimes you be wrong. And since you don't listen to her, she's going to let you find out on your own that what you're doing isn't right. And that's what happened. I don't think she's a better friend to Margaret. I do think that Delores is a flip-flop. And she sees that Margaret is holding some power. And Delores is always going to cling to the person she thinks is going to be the victor in the situation. And I think that's what she's doing. But I don't think that makes her a bad friend to Jennifer, because let's just be real here. As much as I like Jennifer, you sometimes do shit you ain't supposed to do. So Delores was like, Jennifer, is that how you feel? And she said, well, I could use more support. Delores is like, yeah, I'll work on that. But I don't need to hear that from this. I need to hear that from you. And Jackie was like, oh, baby girl, you got me effed up. Don't call me this, which that was rude. I didn't really care. But it was rude for her to say, call her this, because like, girl, why you say that to that girl? Delores was pissed off. And I don't blame her for being pissed off, because how you gonna tell me I'm a better friend to you than I am? You don't know her friendship with Jennifer. You know what the two of y'all share. You don't, unless you're trying to say that Delores been talking shit about Jennifer to you. If that's what you're trying to say, then you need to go ahead and say it. But like, how would you know that she's a better, like, yeah, that sounds silly. They hit us with a to be continued. So we're going to see what happens. But honestly, yeah, Delores was rude as fuck for saying that. But I think Delores felt her back was against the wall. So she reacted accordingly. This is definitely Jackie's season so far, because I think it's going to change. But this is Jackie's season. This is going to be the turning point for Jackie. I think she's starting to get from underneath Margaret's thumb a little bit, because Margaret has played her several times and she's too smart to not notice. So I guess she's starting to, make her own moves, and I'm here for that. But Jennifer, you be a damn fool if you think Jackie's really your friend. I don't think Jackie's her friend like that. I think if Jackie can kind of fuck up her and Delores' relationship, I think that's what she kind of tried to do. I think she's trying to find her own way to have power. I think she's trying to be her own, you know, queen bee. She's trying to lead the pack. I don't know, but I saw something that Jennifer posted or said something stupid about Delores. I didn't like that. Because you really think Jackie has your back, Jennifer? Jackie is smart enough to know that she could not support Margaret in what she did to you. But that does not mean that she's not with Margaret. She knows that she just can't on the show come out right and be like, yeah, Margaret got your ass because of what happened last season. She knows the fan base will hold her accountable. She knows the fan base will chew her up. So she has to be smart. She's moving strategically. She's still rocking with Margaret. So if you think you have a friend, don't be stupid. She's not your friend. Yeah, Jackie's starting to play the game. She's starting to play the game. Don't let her bring one of her friends on the show because it's over for some of y'all. Somebody leaving. Because Jackie's starting to use her. She's starting to make moves. But anyways, that's pretty much all that happened. I guess my takeaways is I'm starting to like Louis. I'm starting to like Jackie. Jennifer is still my girl, but girl, don't mess up your situation with Delores because Delores really is your friend in real life. She might not be your friend on the show, but in real life, that's your friend. Don't burn that bridge. I can see why Teresa likes Louis though. I can see why she likes him. He's giving her something different that she ain't never had. And he's so calm. And he really seems like a nice guy. You just gotta use just get the prenup, Teresa. But I think I'm okay with Louis. Tiny Joe, I'm not here for him. And Frank, oh, that's another thing. Delores. You know what? I ain't even gonna go there. That's really my sound off. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.